Yeah, do you know what? There was a thing I mentioned that speed reading course. It was facilitated by this guy called Jim Quick. So he's a very kind of famous like a guy. He does courses with like memory and brain power and speed reading. And then like I was doing that course, and he said that readers are leaders. And he said that an average millionaire reads about like 50 something books a year. And I was like, okay, sure. Look, I'd love to be a millionaire. Like it's not like my goal, like absolute priority right now. But I said, I'd love to be a millionaire. I said, if it takes like reading a book a week, like why not? You know,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah, why not?
it's like sacrificing something of a smaller value, like my time. I mean, look, I probably like do something unproductive with that time anyway. So I turn on my PlayStation and play FIFA. So I said, why don't I just take an hour a day and just read? And then especially like I said, once I got my speed up, like Joe, I started reading 850 words per minute. It was like brilliant. I remember like one evening, I was doing for a Zumba class. I was in Ireland, and I took a book, like one of the personal development books that I read like 2 or 3 times. So I kind of knew what it's all about. And I said, sure, look, I'm just going to read it for just kind of if I have time to do it. And it was like 80 something pages. It was less than an hour. Like I read the book in an hour, so it was brilliant. I said, okay, this is my new favorite hobby. I'm going to do this every day. So look, it's highly recommended for anyone who wants to read and would love to kind of read a book. It's like I think $100 is the 20 something day course. So
yeah,
highly recommended.
I actually did speed reading once when I was in elementary school. My parents thought it was a good idea, and me and my friend went, and it worked for the first few months, but then you stop doing it, and then
if you don't practice,
I think your mind has to kind of relax the perception filter, and when you do, you can absorb a lot more. But it's just like a muscle; like you have to train it up to be in good condition. Otherwise, you don't catch it all. Like I tried it. Actually, I tried it after our last podcast, and it didn't work. It didn't work. Like I would have to go through the course again. And, just like practice it, like get a bunch of books and do it. Does it work the same for you, like when you're reading PDFs on a computer, where you just
I don't read PDFs. Like I even like audiobooks are not my absolute favorite because I tend to kind of my thoughts tend to drift. Like I could be walking, and so I only read of books, and even that, like I remember doing that course, like like sometimes when you read and your mind drifts, you start thinking about something else. And then Jim Quick was just talking about how it's same as if you were driving your car like 30 kilometers an hour. Like you can text people and do this because you're driving so slowly. But when you drive like 150 kilometers, like you have to be 100% focused. And it's same with reading. So see, when you read fast, you're like 100% focused on that. So again, sometimes audiobooks, but never PDFs. I like my eyes get a bit just sore after a while. But again, look, whatever works for people. I know people use Kindle. Some people listen, like you said, audiobooks. Whatever works for you. Like there's no right or wrong way. But just me personally, I like to read. I like to have my hard copy of my books, especially if they're like all these. They have these like some of the personal development books have these like deluxe editions, like black leather. Like these are I love those. So
me too. I actually love them, but I think I have to get back into reading more. I kind of secretly have a fantasy of building out like a huge library behind me, of all the books that I read, and kind of like building them out. But a shame is that I didn't collect all the audio books that I had. Maybe I should go back and kind of like download all of them or like order them from Amazon. But then I would need like a lot more space behind me, But
you need to find a way to kind of present all your audiobooks like behind you as a background.
Yeah, maybe like a screensaver, that just falls in the background. But
bring down the towers.
Yeah, that would work, but maybe for another time. Tell me, when you were on the speed reading course, I remember that we used to do those mind maps and mental maps. Did you do those as well on Jim Quick's course?
I actually can't remember. Like I know there was few things like juggling balls and stuff like that, just kind of get your peripheral vision. But to be honest, like I'd love to do it again. I will probably like I have access to it somewhere. But like again, it's just like one thing that I've done just to increase my my reading speed. It's not something that I was really obsessed with. Like I'm studying like other things, most like Bob Proctor stuff and Earl Nightingale, but this was just 21 day course. So again, I'll probably do it again. But if you ask me about all the details, everything that I've done, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Do you use mind maps though to kind of map out stuff that you're covering? No.
No, not really. No.
Yeah. I
Sometimes what I do is I like those books that, you know, there's certain books that at the end of each chapter they have like a summary, you know, a short summary, and that's something that Jim Quick recommends. He's like, read what that chapter is all about if that book has it. If that book has it, so it's like some of those personal development books would have like, so there's a chapter on money, and then the last 2 pages like a short summary of what that chapter is all about. So he said, read that short summary. It'll give you an idea of what it's all about, and then you kind of read much faster because you kind of know what to expect. But again, I don't use any mind maps. I know it's kind of highly recommended that you write down things that you kind of read about, and it just kind of improves the retention. But again, I don't. I'd rather read that book like 5 or 10 times if I really like it than just write it down.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see the full version, go to the Uncle Gold Podcast YouTube channel or watch the next clip.